man, welcome back to the Gray Space. I'm Zeke. That is Dre.
Yepers.
And we got another fire interview for you guys this week.
Yes, we do. Y'all know what to do. Subscribe to become part of the tribe. Do us right. Hit that like and comment because you are rocking with the content. To all my listeners out there in the Apple, Spotify world, hit that 5-star review, man. Y'all know what to do. Hit the link tree. Follow us everywhere. I get all that out the way now. Now, we got a special guest in the building.
Yeah, we do, man.
And it was a surprise.
It was a good surprise.
It was a good surprise. You know what I'm saying? Our guest today is a multifaceted, multi-talented entrepreneur out of St. Louis. He swung out the gate with his debut project, I'm That, then proceeded with the haymaker with his follow-up project, The Holy Bible. His music is only the roots of his many branches, though. He is a motivational speaker, health and wellness coach, and podcast creator of Just a Thought, which is dope. I was checking it out. You spent some game on there. His message is simple. It is, well, we gonna let him tell it. He touched down from the Lou to give his journey and his story on the only place stories originate. We welcome Jarmel Reece to the Gray Space. What's up, brother?
Man, welcome. Hey, dude, that intro was on point, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
Hey, I felt good. I was sitting over here like, man, you've accomplished a lot. It made me feel good. So thank you guys for having me here, man. It's a pleasure to be here, for real. Seriously, thank you so much.
Yeah. So you just touched down in town.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to be a little heat shock.
Oh man, hey, look, I tell you what, it's definitely different. So I'm coming from I'm in Chicago.
Okay.
I'm in the Chicagoland area.
Okay.
So I'm actually living in Wisconsin right now. So I'm like right outside the border of Illinois. So I'm in Wisconsin called Kenosha.
Okay.
And it's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still wearing jackets back there. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's still like 54, 40 degrees.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, but I mean, it's starting to get nice in the 60s.
Right.
We're excited about the 60s. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're excited about the 60s. And I get off the plane, I got this hood on and all this stuff, and in the airport it's just cold. Get outside, it's hot as hell. So yeah, I knew I was back in the dry heat.
Yes. Yeah. But you know, it's not too crazy yet.
Nah.
So let's get into it, man. You know, Sonny hit us up, man.
Yeah.
And you know, you touched down with the big bro TJ Super.
No doubt.
And she was like, yo, I got this guy. You know what I'm saying? He's pretty dope. Okay. You know what I mean? Can we work something out? It's done.
Yeah.
And we started checking his stuff out. I had seen some stuff previously, but as I went down the rabbit hole, if you will, so many interesting things to uncover.
Okay.
In a positive way.
Okay.
In a great way.
Okay, come on.
First and foremost, let's just talk about kind of how you got into music and really the roots of St. Louis, because as I was telling him last night, St. Louis is a funny place in this sense. It's low key like one of the meccas of hip hop that never gets talked about. Like there's so many great, dope artists from the mainstream to even the battle rap world with A-Verb and Hitman Holla. And so it's this place where it's like dope stuff comes out of there, but it doesn't get talked about enough.
Yeah.
So talk about how you kind of came up in St. Louis and your music.
Yeah, so like you talking about all those guys like the A-Verbs, the Hitman Hollas, all that different type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like we all grew up around each other. So we all know each other. Like all us know each other, all these guys, you know what I'm saying? We've been doing this stuff for a long time, you know what I'm saying? And it's a very competitive place. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that go on, but it's a real hip hop scene, and it's a melting pot, because what it is that we're in the middle of everything. So you know what I'm saying, we get the West Coast, we get the East Coast, we get the down South, we get and we're in the Midwest, and then you still with the Midwest you got Motown. So it's deeply rooted, where people always talk about East Coast sampling heavy, but what were they sampling? They were sampling Midwest music.
They were.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's a fact.
That's exactly what it is. So if you really go into all this is all Midwest music.
It is.
And so, you know what I'm saying? Like we get so caught up in it. And, you know, you got Nelly, he did what?
So
like crazy 20 million. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got Chingy, he came through there, you know what I'm saying? And then also, like, my last album was produced by the same producers that produced Chingy's album.
Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all in the same place where we're all like legends in this town.
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
But we don't even acknowledge each other because it's a lot of things that goes on within the community.
Of course.
That's why I think St. Louis doesn't get the... You got Ike and Tina Turner come from St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's St. Louis is a very Nat King Cole. Like, you know, you got a very serious music.
It is.
Chuck Berry, St. Louis. It's a very serious place.
It reminds me a lot of a Memphis.
Yeah,
you know
it's just like Memphis.
It's just the sounds that come out of there.
Yep.
And some great music. So how did you really get into it, like getting into the music scene?
Man, so crazy part is I used to battle. That's how we got into it, battling.
Okay. All
so,
right.
you know what I'm saying? We used to do battle and stuff or whatever. So, like me and my friends, we used to have this belt. So we used to take this WWF belt.
Okay.
And we used to wrestle. We used to rap for the rap belt.
Okay.
And it didn't matter where you go. It started at school, but it became a thing where, like, look, if somebody's at the mall, anywhere, somebody asks you to battle, you got to battle or you lose the belt.
Okay.
And it became a thing where we would just go from place to place, no matter where we had throughout the whole St. Louis area, just battling people with this belt.
Okay.
And so I just got off into it, man, and I loved it. I won a contest when I was like a kid, spelled out my name, rapping and some stuff, and we went and the trip was to be able to win, to go to the studio and record your own music.
Okay.
And so I got a chance to be able to get into a professional studio. And I figured out there was something that I liked to be able to do. And I liked it so much that I was like, I want to take this stuff on. And I just never stopped.
Okay.
Never stopped. I can't think of a time that since I've been a kid that I've wanted to do anything else besides this. And it's led me to motivational speaking. It's led me to just different roads and different paths. You know what I mean? Music has saved my life.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the real talk of it. It saved my life, kept me out the streets, kept me doing bunch of different things. So,
Do you still battle?
Nah, I didn't got out of the battle rap scene.
Yeah.
It's like, because you got guys that are special at that. You know what I'm saying? It's a craft. It's a
for
craft,
sure.
You know what I mean? And even before when I was growing up, it wasn't a craft. You know what I'm saying? And then in St. Louis, that's where I started at. My guy, he that was in my group, his name is Big Will. He actually was the first person out of St. Louis to start battling. He won 7 straight weeks on 106 in Park.
Okay.
So that was the first introduction to St. Louis even battling.
Okay.
And so then after that, we started being able to you start seeing the A-Verbs, the Hitman Hollers, all that stuff. So
The Ice Packs.
Yeah. So it all really originated from, you know what I'm saying, like a dude that was from St. Louis that was actually in my group, and that's what we used to do. We used to battle. So
Okay.
yeah.
So when was it, I know you said when you got in the studio, but when was it that you was like, okay, we need to take this to the next level and pursue this professionally? Because, let's just keep it funky. Everybody wants to spit little bars when they go out.
Yeah,
You know
no
what I'm
doubt,
saying?
no doubt.
Everybody got 16 on them at all times from the ages of like 8 to 16.
Yeah.
But when was it that you was like, this is something that not only am I good at, but I want to take that passion and really work towards something greater?
I think it was more so like I was in a group.
Okay.
This is when groups were popular, you know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
so we were in a group and we would be doing these talent shows, and we did this talent show, and man, we like killed it to the point where we won like all these big packages and all these different things, and then people started acknowledging us around like the St. Louis area and was like, man, you guys are rapping about lyrics, you're doing this, and then it started just being real when I started hitting the stages and people started asking, who are you? I'd be on the radio stations and they'd be like, who are you? People start recognizing me. And then I'd be out, and it just became a thing where I was like, I looked up one moment, I was just following my dreams, and then I looked up and it was like people knew who you were and what it is that you do, and I felt like it was the best way to be able to just get a message out.
Okay.
And that's what, you know what I'm saying, especially coming from the community that I was coming from, because St. Louis actually, even though it's like this musically, it's a real tough place to grow up in.
Right.
You know, it's for the most of the time I was there, it was the number one murder capital of the world. And in the neighborhood that I grew up in was probably one of the worst ones in the actual city. So, you know, it was just always, once I figured something out, it was like, okay, I want to get out of this community, and maybe this stuff can take me farther, because it was winning us contests. And then it was, like I said, I won a contest in school, and it took me to a studio. We won contests doing this. It took us to music videos, and then we won contests, and it took us out of town, and we started touring and doing music, and it was like, I can leave here.
Yeah.
I didn't. That's
important.
Yeah, it was important because, you know, I had seen the kid get killed at 11 years old, and it changed my life.
Right.
And it made me want to get out of there.
Yeah.
You know, and it was, the music was the thing that took us and made us want that drive and go for something. You know
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, kind of fast forward into present day. Have you always kind of taken a inspirational approach? Because obviously, you know what I mean? Like, let's keep it funky.
You gotta keep it all the way real.
Like,
No.
Because early on, it's easy to step into the realm of what's popular.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This all started from that.
Okay, obviously the battle rap and all that.
This all started from this. You know what I'm saying? It all started from that. It all started from, you know what I'm saying, at the time I was selling drugs. I was doing these different type of things. You know, if you go back and listen to my first albums, it was always inspirational. I was always, because I grew up listening to Tupac. I grew up listening to Mos Def. I grew up listening to Jay-Z.
Okay.
I grew up listening to different type of people, you know what I'm saying? I knew that I could still be inspirational, but it was just me being in that community that I was rapping about what it was I was doing at the time. And so I looked at my music like a couple months ago. I was like listening to my first albums and listening to me talk about different things that was in the streets versus who I am now.
Right.
And so, it started there, you know what I'm saying? Because I was rapping about what I knew. I knew about selling drugs. I knew about what the police was doing inside of my community. I knew that we were struggling in that side of that community. I don't rap about that type of stuff no more because I'm not there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's not real. But I know what's going on in the community. I know what's needed inside of it. So, you know what I'm saying? I think it's, once you as an artist, the metamorphosis as a man, you grow. And so it kind of, like when I hear mainstream artists not grow.
Right.
That's disturbing.
Yeah.
It's disturbing to me. I hate to hear that T.I. say he's still selling dope.
Right. Why? Right.
It's not really
1,000%.
Yeah, it's not real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I really would like to hear about the rapping of you talking about you being an entrepreneur and how you set up these businesses, because I grew up with you.
Right.
So I want to grow with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just like if you hear, you know, like, it's mental health music. And that's what I got to the place I got to start thinking. It was like, yo, this is becoming mental health music, because you're starting to see grown men talk about glorified lifestyle that they no longer even live just to be able to make $1. That is disturbing.
Right.
So,
I wanted to touch on something. You talked about like Jay-Z, Tupac, and, you know, kind of growing up with that. And do you feel like hip hop is in a good place right now? Or do you think it's kind of weird? I kind of want to get your take on what you think hip hop is right now.
Well, I think hip hop is in a great state. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really do. Honestly, I think, to be honest, I think music is better than ever. Because you have so many different facets of artists that are able to do whatever they're able to do. I couldn't do some of the stuff I'm able to do right now back in the 90s. Do I think that we're oversaturated with a lot of the bullcrap more than we are with the real stuff? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got to always remember, even though we had a song like Keep Your Head Up back then, but we had a song like Tootsie Roll.
Yeah.
You know, we even though we had... like I said, you had these artists that'll be conscious. You had Uncle Luke.
Yeah. You had duality.
You had it.
You had duality.
You know what I'm saying? And we would play a balance of both of them.
Yes.
And I think nowadays it's just not a balance of both of them. It's more just this. And that's it, you know what I'm saying? But it's inspiring, like I said, and I keep on talking about it. I seen the Lil Durk and J. Cole new song. It's inspiring because you're seeing two different facets of different type of rappers coming together and being like, hey, let's bring something big together.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I think music is in a great space where sometimes people think it's dead or they be like, yo, it's not this. It's just that it's no artist development anymore. So you're hearing a lot of undeveloped artists. They're fresh, and you're watching them grow up, and you're being able to see them, and then you're being like, you know what? Nah, this ain't good.
That's
this
a great way to put it.
That's a really good
way
yeah.
to put it.
Yeah,
That is really good because I think it's so true because you're not getting the grooming process in whatever kind of facet, right?
Yep.
It's just kind of being thrown at.
Yep.
Like technology today is crazy.
it's thrown. Yeah, every day it's something new.
Like,
now we're in the AI phase.
AI phase
Yep.
could build you a beat
Yep.
almost instantaneously,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And you might not be able to sing or rap or whatever, but you got the beat.
You got the beat now.
And now it's just like, oh, I'll do whatever I want and throw it out.
You can
know?
put a feature together with Jay-Z sounding like Jay-Z in AI on your stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's getting really crazy.
But the artist development piece, you know, is missing out of music. You know what I'm saying? And like I was telling somebody the other day, they were talking about like, you're like, our music is deceitful. The record labels are doing this and record. I was like, dude, the music industry doesn't even exist. What are you talking about? Record labels,
not like it used to, that's for sure.
they haven't
Right.
even. Yeah, they haven't been. It's us doing this now.
Yeah, it is.
It's us doing this.
primarily just
Social
independent.
media,
Yes,
yeah.
independent.
It's all independent.
Yeah.
For the
The
most part, it's
It is.
like 99% independent.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The record labels got rid of their writers. They got rid of their artist development programs. They got rid of this stuff probably about 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
So now the music that's being pushed out and being towards the home and communities and doing this stuff is strictly made by all the independent artists who adapted or adopted all the stuff that was negative with hip
Yeah,
hop.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
So you got your new project coming up. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I got a new album coming out. It's called Free, and it will be absolutely free.
Okay.
Because, you know what I'm saying, I was, music has evolved so much that you can't sell music like that. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
I don't want to cut you off, but I want everybody to know what FREE stands for.
Free, okay, absolutely. Food, resource, education, and energy. Those are the things that we are being taken that should be for free that we have to pay for. And those are the things that keep people held back. Food, resources, energy, and the education.
That's fire.
So, you know what I'm saying?
I love that.
Yeah, so that's what the album meaning is. And instead of, we're going to give the album away for free, but you'll be able to get a course on the back end of it, right? And the course will be able to help deal with mental health issues, habits, breaking this, doing these things, helping people with breathing exercises, being able to help you become the best entrepreneur that you can actually become. So the course will be sold for like $40. You get a T-shirt, you get the album, you get the album for free, you get all these things, and you could be a member as well. And you know what I'm saying, like really come along with an experience to be able to try to change yourself as a human being.
Right.
I think that's what this is about for me. It's like helping better human beings.
Yes.
Yeah, so
I love that.
And
Go ahead.
when is this dropping?
well, I'm thinking.
Or do you have a release
I was
date?
going to say I don't have a release date yet.
Okay.
But I'm thinking late June, early July. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right.
The first single is out right now, which is called "Wake Up Call," and so I've been pushing that and promoting that. And we've been inside the schools and doing tours and talking to kids and stuff like that. And so, the approach that I'm taking in selling the album is a totally different way from selling albums.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even getting off of Spotify's and different things like that from the standpoint of being able to show people how to be able to touch people yourself through your own email list and being able to capture your own audiences and stuff like that. So we're kind of going to funnel them in a different type of way where we're going to build it in a course, but also building the album and showing us how to, do something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just put a lot in the box, and so all that stuff's in the box. So I'm gonna start to unpack all of that
That's
right now.
what I'm talking about. So now I could be able to give out, now I'm able to say, hey, okay, I had 3-4 albums. I got different albums. I can give them away and pack them.
Right, right.
And that's what I love about this generation.
Yeah.
Couldn't do that back then. I would have had to go and sign with a record label who would have tried to get money off of that. Now, now I could be able to, I can profit share, or I can do this, or I can do that. I can do so many different things. So when we say hip-hop is in a bad place, I think music in general and life in general is in a better place than it's ever been with the technology if you use it properly.
Correctly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to piggyback off of, because I want to get into everything else, but I think it's very important that we don't leave the music quite where it's at yet, because to your point, you got the single, and doubling down on the fact that you're creating a package deal that's going to offer what you do in your other career fields, simultaneously into that, and then you have the single "Wake Up Call," which I thought was very it was 2 I words. It was very interesting and intentional, and I think your music, as even if you get to scroll back a little bit, those words can be applied to your music as a whole. And in this sense, you're not a gospel rapper. You are a spiritual rapper, artist. And I think that is an incredible, path to take, because we know in hip hop it's very, very segregated in the sense where you've got this type of rap, gospel rap, and then you've got conscious rap, which is somewhat kind of in the middle of both, right?
Yep.
But a spiritual way of doing it, I don't think has really been done the way that you're doing it. In Wake Up Call, you come out the gate, man, I ain't like these niggas, don't call me. And when you think spiritual, you're like, we cursing up in here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think that's real, because people need to have that, again, the duality of I am a flawed human being who's trying to get there. So I really want you to speak to the spiritual side of your music, bro, because it's lovely, man. It really is, bro.
Appreciate it. So, you know what I'm saying? It's more so like, it's like exactly what you said. It's not, at first when I was doing this, people thought it was Christian, or they thought it was gospel.
Right.
And it was like, nah, it's not gospel at all. It's knowing that it's something else besides me that's leading me. No, it's spiritual. It's not anything else outside of that. And so, like you said, I come from that street background.
Right.
I come from a street. I come from that. So if the music is gonna be made, it gotta hit. It gotta hit hard, and it can't be soft. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man. I go through things all the time. I curse. I'm flawed. You know what I'm saying? To the world, I'm flawed, but I'm perfect.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? To be, if I curse and I'm saying fuck it, it is what it is. At that particular time, that's what it was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. I thought about what I said before I said it. I didn't. You know what I mean? I'm not going back to apologize for something that I said at that particular time, because I thought about it. And if I said something to somebody that offended me at that time, I thought about it. It probably was, and that's what it was. And so the music has to be, I feel like a lot of people who come from the hip hop world and then they go gospel, they lose so much of their edge. And they become just this thing of, trying to be able to appease these people. And the reality of it is nobody's perfect. I'm not trying to appease anybody. I'm not trying to make anybody happy when they hear my music. I want people to be able to understand that this is real. Yeah. And so, like you said, it's like going down the album, you got Wake Up Call. I got a song called Peace and Blessings, where I'm talking about pretty much my struggles as a father, my struggles as thinking about committing suicide with just things that have happened in life, you know what I'm saying? And just all these different things, and talking about including meditation and yoga and doing these different things that people in my community usually don't see or do. They think it's. I joke with my friend. We always talk about this. Like 60-year-old white women do yoga. That's what they think. That's the automatic thinking.
Right.
But it is the most curing thing or the most healing thing that we can actually have. You know what I'm saying? Mushrooms. We get away from, you know what I'm saying? We in the black community, you tell me you take mushrooms, somebody gonna be like, man, something wrong with you. You crazy. You not messing with them white boys. You get crazy. Nah, dude, mushrooms are a known thing to be able to help with mental health. I think if black people embrace, or people of color, let's just say that people of color embraced mushrooms and stuff like that, it will be that type of, you know what I'm saying, as far as we could do that. So my music is more healing.
Yeah.
I'm rapping about the things that I feel like that heal me and help me be able to get to this place, man. And I want people to be able to enjoy it, but I don't want them to be snored to sleep. I want them to have fun.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you, listening to Wake Up Call on the phone, like through the phone, don't do it no justice. Slap that boy in the speaker, like slap that on some goods with the whip. You know what I'm saying? And your house speakers, whatever. Like when I heard it through the speakers, I was like, oh wait, that was a whole different song. It's different. Like the bass line, and I was like, where was that at? You know what I'm saying? Right. So yeah, beautiful, man, and I love it because, again, man, it really is what's needed. Yeah. To your point.
Thank you.
And excited for this album. Let's get into the other stuff though, man. Because
I want to real quick. I want to.
Yeah.
I got to prop you up for doing something like this, man. Because, I'm one of my end sayings. You know, we'll get to it. It's stay safe, stay positive.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I think positivity can look so many different ways. It's not about being happy. It's about the thought process.
Yes, sir.
You know, and I don't think it's talked about enough.
Yeah.
I really don't. You know, you might see videos, you might see music, but it doesn't necessarily hit like what you're going for. And I really do appreciate that. And it's just, you know, there's so many things negative about this world, and that we get caught up in. And I want to say something, and I do want to transition actually into, you know, your coaching and all this other stuff, you know, because I kind of want to get your opinion on something I've been kind of going through lately. Is it's not necessarily what's out there. You can take it in, but what gets in your own way. And I think that is the biggest hurdle I have to get around at the moment, in present moment of myself, is me getting in myself. I think I am my worst own enemy more than anything else. Yep. Because I would take this podcast. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I want to grow it, but I could get in my own way. Yep. You know what I mean? Yep. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. You guys are terrible, whatever. It doesn't matter, right? But I'll get in my own way. Yep. And I think it's so, like, we set barriers in front of ourselves, and we have to get over them. And I want to get your kind of opinion on that, like being our own worst enemy. Yeah. So you know what? In one of the courses that we got going on is called self-image. And you know, I think the main thing is our self-image of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We're given a self-image of ourselves. You know what I mean? From birth, you were given that name. You were told that you were this way. You were told that you were going to be this way. Your parents pretty much had your life set up for you.
Yes. Yeah. Very much so.
But then when you rebel against that, then your parents think it's a problem, and then you think it's a problem. Because now you're judging yourself. You're like, this isn't what I wanted to do. Right, but they told me this is what I should do. Right, and then that wrestle comes in. And so then you find yourself always doing other things to make sure that everybody else is happy. And I think that what we do in life is that we learn how to give love, but we don't know how to receive.
That is so true.
And that's the block that keeps us standing in our way.
That's a fact.
Because we can't even receive the fact that, you know what? I am good at what I'm doing. I am this at what I'm doing. I'm this. You're hearing, no, you're not capable of doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. You can't. Podcast, why you guys starting a podcast? It's a bad idea. Because you heard it from somebody who had got it and tried a podcast and it didn't work.
Right.
And they stopped.
And they stop.
They stopped.
Yeah.
Not knowing that, you know what? That stopping is delaying you from your purpose. Keep going.
Yes.
What if you didn't start off with this board?
No.
You didn't start off with these mics. You didn't start off with those cameras.
Damn sure didn't.
No.
Damn sure didn't.
But you will still judge yourself.
Yeah.
And be like, I'm not at that place where this well, how big do you want this podcast to be? Then now you gotta start thinking about that in your mind and start being able to wrap your mind around that part of life and get caught up in that. I think we get too caught up. It's so easy to pay attention to negativity.
It is.
Yeah.
You'll get so. I've had to learn how to be able to cut off people that talk about it because it's not conducive towards our growth.
That's hard too.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Because most of the time the people that are negative are the people closest to you.
Oh man.
It's what I seen this clip of Rick Ross and he said the 90% don't mess with you to the 10% do.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. And the 10% that mess with you, it don't be the 10% around you.
Nope.
There's always some rando bandos that's sitting over here. It's like, hey, I like what you doing. You know what I'm saying? Then now, oh man,
yeah,
Jarmel, man, you killing it, man.
I been knew you could do it.
Right.
I saw you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you was doing.
Hey man, you got tickets, man. Can I pull up to the next one? Yeah, man. You know where to get them.
Yeah.
Where everybody else get them.
Where everybody else get them at. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Where everybody else get them.
Yeah.
But you know what that is? You know, I learned that's their fear. You know what I mean? Like they fear. They fear for you doing that because they're like, hey, don't keep doing that. Hey, Jarmel, don't step out in that water. Don't step out in that water. You're going to drown. Jarmel, you swimming. Oh, Jarmel, don't keep going that far. You going to drown. Oh, you swimming. Oh. So then you start swimming and they like, that's my boy.
Right.
Yeah.
But just a minute ago, it was like, get your ass back out here.
Right.
You can't swim.
Right.
And so, you know, it's just that fear. I think it's more that fear. And I've had to learn how to be able to, you know what I'm saying, like understand that my family, some of the people in my family aren't healed from their own traumas.
Yes.
And so what we do is we transfer trauma. We live in the transfer trauma world all the time. I tell my daughter, she's 15, and they deal with peer pressure more than anything.
Oh, man.
And so I tell her, I'll be like, you know, what it is that you kids are going home, right? Trying to be adults. Their parents go off on them, curse them out, do this, treat them, mistreat them. And then you know what those kids do? They come to school and mistreat other kids.
Yes.
And they just pass it along. It's a disease that's being passed on further and further along. And, you know, it's taking people's self-confidence. And I think that's what we've done a good job at, taking each other's self-confidence to the point where being even a comedian isn't even fun anymore because everybody's getting sensitive.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I think this is the worst thing ever.
I do too.
It is terrible. We have we have so much so much of a self-image problem that anything that somebody says about us is a problem.
Yes.
So yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I want to talk to something else that you talk about quite a bit, and I think is mad important because it is something that every single one of us deals with at some point. Autopilot. And let me tell you something, brother. It is, as you know, it don't matter where you come from, what you've been through. It is the easiest thing. And I think, honestly, the less, I don't want to say the less you go through, but it's just the way the world is, right? And especially as a man.
Yeah. Especially
as a man, because you are told this is the way, this is how to provide,
yes.
and this is how we deem you successful.
Yeah.
And in that you can get caught up. And you can lose a little sense of yourself and drive of what you want to do. And it's hard to say, man, I'm going to struggle so that I don't have to be on autopilot and I get to fly my own plane that I built that has the specifications that I put in there. Talk to us about this, because you talk about it so well. I'm not doing it any justice. Talk to us about your feelings on people just living in autopilot.
Yeah. Man, that is like the major thing for people, you know. It's like reverting back to the past to be able to feel comfortable about things, you know. It's just the same thing. It's like, you know, no matter how good you're able to get to a certain place, people are going to always try to bring you back down, because it's not even that they're trying to bring you back down. It's the way that they could be able to comfortably be able to talk to you, because they're on that autopilot. They don't have anything else going on new in their lives. So you know, if a person sometimes works at a job for 19 years, and I always say this, please don't get offended for what I'm saying, because if you're working at a job that you love doing and that you're happy at and you doing that is perfectly fine. I think it's perfectly fine, you know what I'm saying? But also understanding that you need to be able to build new healthy habits, because you're running on an autopilot program. You take the same way to work every day for the last 19 years. You do the same things on time. You talk, gossip, do the same things. You know, get off to work at the same time. It's in life. You're either staying still or you're progressively moving forward. And if you're not having new experiences, you're staying still.
Yeah,
you're staying still. It's period. It's not anything different happening at the job or anything happening different in there that is being stuck.
Yeah,
and so you are being moved. You know what I mean? You're not moving. So what happens is those people stay on autopilot.
Yep.
And they don't even know that they're on autopilot because they're comfortable. You know, you hear so many people say, "Man, I got my job, man. I'm comfortable." Well, it feels good, because you're not going anywhere.
Right.
But the one thing about feeling so good that you're not going anywhere, that means you're not growing.
Exactly.
Right.
You're still having the same experiences. And life is about experiencing things. It's about being able to hear no. It's about being able to go out and go and get slung around and being able to learn lessons. We were just talking about when we was at TJ's spot, and he was like, man, people they scared. They're scared to take however many tools are in your toolbox are the things that you can use, right? But if you're not having experiences, what tools can you use?
Yeah.
You don't have anything.
That's a fact.
And so, and then also we live in the I know generation.
Man.
I know. Because you can go and look it up on YouTube. And so now you think you know more than me.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you something I know. I'm telling you something I've experienced. It's difference between me telling you something I know versus something I experienced.
Yes.
I can know that LeBron James wears a size 17 shoe or whatever, right? I don't know if it's 17.
Right. Yeah.
But
don't quote us on that.
Yeah. But until I see it, it's not an experience. I haven't seen LeBron James. It's not my experience. Somebody told me.
Right.
It's not my experience. I still haven't had the experience, and until you have the experience, you can't go off of other people's experiences.
Yeah.
And I think that's what that autopilot, it allows people to be comfortable living in other people's experience, especially with our cell phones.
Yeah.
It's worse.
Yeah, it is.
We used to have to go out and get experiences. You used to have to go outside and go and learn some stuff about life. Now you can build a whole business on your damn cell phone, never have to talk to anybody, and be a straight, just no experiences.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where that autopilot, man, it's so hard. It's so hard to break, man. And to be honest, if you plan on moving further in your life, you have to learn how to just to be able to accept that some people are going to talk to you about the same things and love them right there. And don't judge them. I talk to people, a lot of people. I don't want to say who. I talk to a lot of people, and we talk about the same things a lot. And I find myself doing it because I love them. And the thing of it is that you once you reach new ceilings, you're not relatable to those conversations anymore.
Yes.
You're not. But
yes,
you still want to talk to your mom.
Mm-hmm.
You love her. You still want to talk to your brother. So you find a compromise in it. Don't stay with them so long. Just don't when it becomes too toxic for you, get out of there.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you got to listen to it because that's where they at.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I want to talk.
Yeah, you go ahead. I gotta take this all in, man. You go ahead, man.
The autopilot thing is very interesting, and it because this sounds weird, maybe to a lot of people, but I like hurdles.
Yeah.
Right. I like roadblocks.
Yeah.
And the reason is because I want to get over them.
Yes.
And there's being stagnant can be okay for a certain amount of time, right? Like, okay, everything's good for, pick a time, a day, whatever, right? And you're like, okay, cool. And sometimes you need that, and for mental purposes, whatever. But I tell you what, man, there is nothing more frustrating, but also more rewarding when you are confronted with the situation, right? No matter what it is, you maybe seem Mount Everest to get over that hurdle, but it is so rewarding getting over that, because once you learned that, you already have it. Your tool set you were just talking about, right?
Yes.
Having that tool set and pulling it out of your bag and going, man, I thought that thing was Mount Everest.
Yeah.
Nah, it's just a little bump. I got the tool for that. I'll go right over that thing, no problem.
Yep.
That's why I like hurdles. I think a lot of people struggle with those, and getting over certain things. And I want to kind of talk to you about like meditation and stuff too, right? And because do you feel like that's a good tool to use to get over certain things, to kind of slow your brain down? Get to think about, okay, what's my next move, stuff like that.
Absolutely, man. To be honest with you, tell the truth, meditation saved my life. You know what I'm saying? I tell it's one of those things where it's like how hip hop saved my life, got me out of the city to be able to have different experiences. So with that, one of those experiences that I learned was I met somebody who taught me how to do yoga, meditation, and breathing and breath exercises and stuff like that. And it just changed. It slowed my mind down. I had to go, the one thing about the self-image is the brain. So the brain, if I tell somebody to draw a picture of their brain, right? Most likely they will probably draw, or I told them to draw a picture of their mind. If I tell you to draw a picture of your mind, they most likely would draw a brain.
Right.
Because they identify it. But the mind is an activity.
Yes.
The brain is another thing. It's not even the same thing. And so what you do in meditation is it slows down the activity and you change up the vibration. And so now, instead of those activities that are running, those negative thoughts that are running through your head, you're able to go back and go and deal with that stuff. So I've been held up at gunpoint. And at one point in time, when I was living in St. Louis, it was hard for me to be able to go around people because I didn't know who did it to me. So I was very... I had a lot of anxiety when I walked in rooms, when I did shows, and my name would be on flyers even after this. So it freaked me out. And so I had to learn how to be able to go back to that situation through meditation, right? And learn that it was okay. Because that was actually another tool that helped me be able to sit here with you guys calmly. To be able to have this type of presence in what it is. Sometimes you think the worst things that happen to you are the worst things that happen to you, but they are actually the best things that could ever possibly happen to you. So, and I'm like how you are. I run towards things now. I don't run away from anything. I've had to learn how to be able to run towards things because that anxiety will build up in your chest. And either you gonna it say pressure bust pipes,
right?
So either now you gonna either move forward or stay stagnant in fear,
right?
And you don't learn nothing from staying stagnant in fear. I'd rather mess up to where people say 100 times. I'd rather mess up. But every time they think I messed up, I got a new tool.
Yes.
And so now what I'm doing is, as soon as I get to that destination, it's like you said, oh, I could pull those keys out now.
Yep.
I could pull that key out now. That key was, it's like playing a video game. I got that key on board 1, but it's for board 12 or board 13.
Yeah, no, that's true, man. That's a good analogy, actually.
I didn't know that it was going to be used for this board, but I got it. And I was always looking at it when I'm going through the boards like, where the hell I got this thing?
Right. Yep.
That's a great analogy. I wanna stay there too, man, because I have recently gotten back into it, and I got away from it for a couple months, or I was really I wasn't consistent enough.
Yeah.
With the meditation, he knows I was really on it, like tough, heavy, and so I really been getting back into it, and just I've noticed, like, again, slowing everything down, like just going through your day.
Yeah.
Sitting back and really dissecting your day, because a lot of times you'll hold on to that stuff and then you got to move through the next day, but you still holding on to yesterday's packages. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday's baggage, and it's difficult because we want to hold on to stuff.
Yeah,
we don't know that we do, but we really love to hold on to stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We are petty.
We like to stay mad.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I'm still mad at my wife from yesterday. I love her. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. So, that's a whole different ball game.
I'm holding on to it.
Yeah.
You know,
you're gonna need that. You're gonna need that.
Yeah.
You're gonna need that.
But and even as a father, man, you know, kind of going back to what you were saying about, you have to go through it. You have to go through those hard things, because same thing, you know, I tell my daughter all the time, is like, you know, she's in sports, and she's 14, you know, around the same age, and you know, she looks at things and it's just like, everything's so difficult, it's like, yes, but it's supposed to be that way. And a lot of times, as we know, you can go, what you'll always find out is that nothing is as bad as you thought it was going to be.
Man, say that again.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you looking at something and it looks impossible.
Yeah.
And then you get out of it and you like, that was it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You want more. You looking for more, and it wasn't no more.
It wasn't nothing else.
Yep.
And so, you know, talk to us about, you know, really what you do on the life coaching and the mental health, because again, man, to your point, it is something that is majorly needed.
Yeah.
In the Black community.
Yeah.
In any type of minority, you know, quote unquote minority community, but also for men, man, because brothers be going through some stuff, you know what I'm saying,
dude,
and don't want to talk about it, and just don't want to talk about it.
Dude.
Don't know that they have the resources, you know what I'm saying. So talk to us about kind of what you do on that side of things.
Yeah. So, you know, a lot of the stuff, man, just making people have to understand that, you know what, you got to deal with it, because it's not going anywhere. Either you're going to deal with it or you're not, you know, and if not, you're still going to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of this stuff just goes back down to just wanting to heal, man. And we just take a step where it's like, okay, excuse me. I remember when I'm a father. And I've been married before. I've been in a marriage. I have 3 children by 2 different women. 2 different women. One point in time, I was another person with the oldest child's mother, and at another point, I was another one with my wife at the time. You know, and so I know those pressures of how it feels to be a man. That you're supposed to provide. You're supposed to do this, and then I'm not supposed to say anything unless the kids got conflict. I'm not supposed to be, I'm always got to be the disciplinarian. So then my kids know me as like, well, I'm going to call your daddy. So I'm looked at as this evil person that they got to call to rule over them every time. And it was a lot. And I had to learn that, you know what? For all these people that I love, I am not here for them to love me while I'm here. I'm here for them to learn something, to experience me. Because I want them to all to still to be able to live with or without me. And I'm not teaching them how to live with me. I'm teaching them how to live without me. Especially my kids, and even at that time, my wife. You know, I'm not. We're here to experience each other. We're not here to be an attachment and clingy and think that we got each other for the rest of our lives. If we're not waking up every day and not enjoying our experience with each other, I want you to go and be the best version of yourself and go be happy.
Yeah.
And you don't have to fight me to do it either. You can just go and do that, because I understand that there's no such thing as forever relationships. You know, we're all preparing the next person for their next relationship. So when you're with your wife, you're preparing her for her next relationship. Whoever's going to pass first, if you pass, she's going to be in another relationship probably.
Right.
And she's gonna have to know how to be a better wife for that person too. And you have to be realistically knowing that that's what you're training these people for, your kids, to be able to be a better parent, because you're gonna leave ultimately.
Right.
And so I think that's not enough. That's where we get so like caught up. We're not experiencing each other.
Right.
We're taking each other for granted. We're attached to each other. That's my daddy. He's not yours. He's a person. That's why people always want independence. That's why people always they don't want to be told you're mine. They don't want that. That's why when you got a woman and you try to call her all the time, it's like they say nice guys finish last. You call her all the time, you trying to see what's going on with her, do all this stuff. She's not going to like you. But it's when you give her space, because we're all little mini planets. And we require space. We don't require attachment. And when you're attaching to somebody and you're doing that stuff, they like, I don't want to feel like this.
Right.
They get tight.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's I think learning to be able to separate, knowing that we are all unconditional love. And you have to give unconditional love no matter what. If your kids want to be able to do something and figure that, they got to figure it out.
Yeah.
You can't have this thing where it's like, no, you're my kid. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. And so I think that's just letting go and attachment. We've gotten unconditional love and attachment mixed up. We think we got to be possessive in love when you're born in love. So why do you have to go out and try to be something you were born and made in?
Right.
Just be it. That's why the good relationships are when you just with somebody and you chilling. It ain't the person that's calling you 20, 30, 40 times a day because they're trying to make you love them. You don't have to make anybody love you. They were made in love. That's the craziest thing.
True.
They are love. You're in love. You just haven't received it.
Right.
You don't receive it. You don't like the way that they giving you love because you don't know how to accept it, because you were taught how to give love, not how to receive it.
Yeah, it goes back to your first point.
Go back to the
full circle. I love it, man. That's awesome, man. I want to get off of because man, I could talk to you forever about mental health, no doubt. You know, I just love that topic because I think there's so much to unpack. You know, about people's personalities. You know, you was talking about men and just relationships, all kinds of different stuff. I want to talk about your shoes.
Yes.
And I know people can't see them, but they are amazing. They're like gold.
I appreciate it.
They're awesome.
You know, maybe take these shoes off and show them.
You don't have to. But you make your own shoes. You make your own shoes, correct?
Yes.
So tell us about that, man, because I find this really interesting, man.
Yeah.
This is cool.
So, you know what I'm saying? Even too, like I say, man, I'm trying to create a whole lifestyle out here. You know what I'm saying? Now, the whole spiritual thing is a lifestyle. You know, I think the spiritual part of, like you said, music and all this stuff, it's like, it's always got to be something that's not good. No, we like to wear nice clothes. We like to do different type of stuff. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? Let's make a clothing line. You know, let's make a whole clothing line, and I call it the 9 collection. Okay. So the 9 collection. My kids are 3 years apart. 3, 6, 9. So that's the 9 collection.
I
love that.
You know what I'm saying? And then my life path number is in spirituality is 9.
Okay.
Which is beginnings and ends. So beginnings and endings, and so I'm always about beginnings and endings. So I was like, man, the clothing is the 9 collection. I've been selling shoes for like the last two years.
Okay.
I've sold man, I probably sold like over 20-30 pair of these shoes independently, pushing them. But also right now I'm getting ready to these new ones that I got out there called the I Am 9 Guides. And so we're getting ready to run a raffle on them.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do a raffle for $15. You can get into the raffle for $15. I'll be running it until July, and so you guys need to get some tickets too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you need to get some tickets. You know what I'm saying, and get you some shoes, and you can be able to. Anybody could be able to win a pair of 9 Guides for $15. These are $500 pair of shoes that I'm giving away for $15. So you got the opportunity to be able to win for $15.
So where do you go?
So you go to Jarmelreece.live, and I'll be giving out the links as well. We're going to start running at the beginning of June, so I'll be giving out the links too. But Jarmelreece.live, and so yeah, man, it's gonna be crazy. I love all the whole thing of just being able to be an artist.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's why I said, man, if you're multifaceted, multi-talented. You know what I'm saying? And bro, I really love what you're doing. It really is. It's a freaking breath of fresh air, man. It really is, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it is.
We get a lot of the same stories, and not, you know, I'm not saying here on the podcast. I'm saying just in general, of what we're able to consume. You know what I mean? And especially through social media, you know, we get a lot of the same messages. You know what I'm saying? And whether positive or not, everybody's pushing the same product.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which side of the coin.
Everybody pushing trauma.
Something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's good to have not you know, a brother, man, like, you know, a brother really coming in and being that role model, you know what I'm saying, and having that message, because not only do, you know, our youngins need it, but we need it. You know what I'm saying? We need it as adults as well. You know what I mean? We're like you said, we got to be constantly growing. So I appreciate you, man. Is there anything that we missed that you want to, you know, talk about? Anything that, before we get on out of here, I don't want to leave all the stones turned. You know what I'm saying?
I think everything is good, man. Like I said, we got the album coming out pretty soon. It's at the end of June. Put the album out. It's called Free. Freeze be coming soon. We got the raffle. Everything's pretty good, man. We touched everything, and then just stay tuned to Jarmelreece.live, man. It's gonna be a lot of things. We got the podcast, Just a Thought. We do that every Wednesday at 7:30. So actually, man, maybe what we could do is we get together and you guys can come on my podcast.
Yeah, man, and, for sure.
Yeah, we can get together and do some stuff like that. And, you know, man, just paying attention to everything that Jarmel Reece, it'll be coming real soon, man. I'm excited, hitting tours, being able to go into schools and talk to kids, and we'll be doing a lot of stuff where we'll do some book bag giveaway, backpacks, doing a bunch of different community stuff, and, you know, just showing people that, man, you know, we can make music in a positive light, and it doesn't have to offend anybody. It can still hit hard, and grandma could be able to walk in the room and feel comfortable where she ain't being called out her name and being disrespected, and, you know what I'm saying, and the kids can still walk away and feel like, you know what, I can go be something, not that they being taken away from. So, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, just stay tuned, man. Everything Jarmel Reece.
Okay. Jarmelreece.live.
Jarmelreece.live. That's Jarmel Reece REECE.live. Yep.
Man, I really appreciate you coming on, man.
For sure.
You know what? We would love to come on your podcast.
Yes.
And also want to have an open invitation, man. Whenever you're back in town, please come back through, man.
Absolutely.
And we could just talk about whatever. You know, mental health stuff. I mean, it doesn't have to be music. It could be the music. It could be whatever. I mean, this is a joy. This is just a fantastic talking to you, man. I really do appreciate conversations like this, man. They are kind of rare in, you know, just in the outside world, you know, where we don't get a lot of this, and kind of piggybacking off of what Dre said, you know, it's a breath of fresh air, and I just really enjoyed it, man. And yeah, please come back, man.
Oh man,
love it.
done deal, bro. This was a breath of fresh air for me. Like I said, man, you guys, I love the studio. I love what you're doing, man. Hey, keep on going. This is getting ready to be real big for you, brothers, and you know what I'm saying.
Thank you, man.
I can't wait to be a part of it. So it's super dope to see, for real,
Awesome,
for real, bro.
And you know we're gonna have all these links. It's not here now, but magically it's gonna be there. Y'all know how I do.
That
you know
part.
what I'm saying?
That part.
Appreciate you again, Jarmel, man. Really, it was a really good time, man.
No
Thank
doubt,
you.
man. I appreciate y'all too. Blessings to be here with y'all, man. For real.
Nice.
Yep.
You guys stay safe. You guys stay positive out there.
And as always, this is the Gray Space. Peace.